Okay, so I ain't really been on WWE like that because WWE has just been pure garbage. Pure garbage. We headed to SummerSlam. Some things changed. I actually had a few videos in the pipeline that I just didn't even want to make. I set everything up and just was like, man, I'm not talking about this bull crap. Like, it's been trash. And the trashiest thing that's been going on, has been the Jade Cargill hate with the wig nonsense. And then the Obafemi racist trash. Obafemi literally climbed the mountain and won King of the Ring. You could have let Obafemi go all the way to SummerSlam, face Roman or face Cody, and won. And I mean, that's how you make a mega star. Like, Obafemi would have been a mega star going into WrestleMania as champion. And honestly, they're giving him Brock Lesnar. So you mean to tell me Obafemi relinquishes his title shot? They had to confirm that on Raw, because everybody's like, oh, he didn't really just relinquish it. But, yep, he relinquished it. He gave it up to fight Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell for no title, no nothing. Now, if this would have been a, career versus title shot match or something like if they would have done that, that would have been better. If they would have just said, okay, career versus title shot. Like, Brock wasn't in King of the Ring, but if Brock wins, he gets to face Roman or Cody or something. And if Brock loses, he has to retire. I think everyone would have accepted something like that. But there's nothing on the line. We're just getting another Oba versus Brock in a Hell in a Cell. It won't be bloody. It won't be as bad. Brock's old. Oba's really strong and young. He could take some bumps, but what happens if Oba loses? I don't think Oba's going to lose, but I do think it does nothing for Oba. Okay, so you're telling me Oba's going to win, and then what? He's going to win the Royal Rumble? It makes no sense. If they wanted to keep the trajectory going, some kind of way Oba could have met Brock at WrestleMania. If they really wanted to do this, he could have met at WrestleMania. But nope. Now we have the Jade versus Charlotte beef for no title. Nothing. We get Rhea's supposedly injured, but I mean, Logan Paul is injured. He comes, Chelsea Green, she's injured. She still comes, Y'all put the title on Rhea just for her to get hurt. And now what? It's just dumb stuff. Make her relinquish her title. Naomi had to do it. And I think another person had to do it. Was it Seth or something? They got injured. They had to relinquish it. Make Rhea give that title up. She don't even deserve it. Triple H ruins careers. Jade should be the top diva, superstar, whatever you want to call her, women's champion right now in WWE. Jade should be ruling with the iron fist with Mishin and B-Fab. Like, nothing should be getting in their way at all. That's how you write good storytelling. But nope, she's just going to hurt Alexa Bliss, fake break her arm like Man, I'm telling you, Triple H is just trying to ruin Jade Cargill's career, man. You know, we got to swap Triple H out for Shawn Michaels. And, you know, Oba Femi, too. Like, okay, we get a Hell in a Cell. We get Brock. We get Oba. But at the end of the day, who cares? Like, who really cares? You know, and this isn't necessarily go over Raw video. But, I mean, if you really look at Raw, like, bruh, it sucked. You know, we're getting Roman versus Seth. Okay, we all want to see Roman versus Seth. But there's no story with Roman versus Seth. There's none. And they're trying to cook up a story, but they could have cooked up this story way better than what they are doing now. They're turning SummerSlam into Garbage Slam. Like, SummerSlam might be worse than last year. And you have a Roman versus Seth match. Then you're getting what? Jacob, like the Bloodline, versus LA Knight, Solo, and whatever his name is. I forgot his name. Keys, Royce Keys. Like, is that what you want to see? You know, and we might get the Jacob versus Solo by itself, but we already saw that. And why is Solo and Jacob supposedly banging on TV? Like, there's some Blood Pyru members or something. Like, bruh, they all gotta stop. They all gotta stop. I think it's a running joke. It's not funny. It's like it's time to. Jacob's gonna get released, I'm pretty sure. You know, but you know what? The Rock is controlling that, so yeah, I don't see him going anywhere right now. But man, for the most part, they ruined it. Io Sky, she already got her match that we already saw at King of the Ring. We already saw that. Now we're gonna see it at SummerSlam again. No one cares about Sol Ruka. No one cares about Maxine Dupree and the Vision. Man, this has got to be some of the saddest wrestling ever. Ever. I mean, ever. It's like, how many times are we going to see Rusev, Javon Evans, you know, Chad Gable, you know, Dominic. You know, how many times are we going to see this nonsense? And now you just turn Lyra Valkyria into a crackhead. Like, please. Please, WWE. This is like the worst era. This is the ruthless depression era of wrestling. Man, we need Bianca. We need Naomi back in the women's division. We need Stephanie Valkyrie back in the women's division. I mean, Charlotte came back, and we thought that was going to boost the women's division. Like, to be honest, we all remember y'all was booing Charlotte. Like, now y'all love Charlotte. All of a sudden, she's beefing with Jade. Like we said, Jade boosts up whoever she fights. And they hate that. They hate that. Roman, he's going to sell tickets regardless. Cody's not champion, but honestly, we should not get Cody versus Punk. It should be Sami Zayn versus Punk. I think we would rather actually see Sami Zayn versus Punk in like a hardcore match because Sami's pissed off. Like, we would rather see that and let Sami be full heel full heel. You know, that's what it should be. We have no clue where Randy Orton is. You know, like, what is this product? What is this product? At this point, you might as well bring up everyone from NXT right now and just put them on the main roster. Whether they're ready or not, because it doesn't matter. There is no, you need to be ready for, you know, the main card. You know, there is no reason, because they're not gonna help your character grow anyway. So it doesn't even matter. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about these past Raws and these past SmackDowns. Put it in the comments.